Good morning, excuse me, from Disney's Animal Kingdom. Welcome or welcome back. Thanks to all of you who joined me from Magic Kingdom the other day. Today is the first day. I'm obviously back in Animal Kingdom. It is a beautiful day. The park seems to be relatively quiet this morning, and I'm thrilled to be back. And more importantly, to be back with you. If you're watching live, please do me a favor, grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a nosh, sit back, relax, and tag and invite a friend to come along and join with us. We're going to wander the park, explore a little bit. We'll ride some attractions. We'll probably eat something along the way. But for now, let's get right into it and just head out. Animal Kingdom, we're gonna do this today. I've only been to I've only been to Magic Kingdom on the annual pass holder preview day, and again yesterday for the sort of official grand thing. I noticed, which I was curious about between the 2 days, was how the crowds were going to differ. And very, very light from the preview day to yesterday, based on what I'm seeing so far this morning, in terms of the few number of people that were lined up to get in this morning. I'm sort of expecting the same, which I think is really smart. Good morning. Hey, how you doing? I think it's really smart because, one, it gives everybody an opportunity to... Good morning. How you doing? You know, unlike the castle, as you get that reveal in the morning, there's something comforting about seeing these park icons again for the first time in so very long. So if you're an Animal Kingdom fan, if Animal Kingdom is your favorite park, let me know. Let me know in the comments, whether it be, show me some hearts and some likes, and then tell me why Animal Kingdom is your favorite park. And again, just a quick look in an area that would normally be pretty crowded. Really not a lot of guests here this morning yet. I'm sure this number will increase as the day goes on. But the one nice thing about the park reopening that we saw, not just on Thursday with the preview, but even yesterday, is it almost feels like a special event because there's really... You know, the park is not crowded at all. I love just being back and hearing the music again. I felt the same way about Magic Kingdom the other day. Animal Kingdom's music is so distinctive too. While you might not know the names of the songs, there still is something comforting about hearing this background music again. Mark, I agree with you, and I will tell you that Satu'li Canteen is most likely going to be on the lunch menu for today. Nomad Lounge, I'm looking at you, possibly as an option as well. It's definitely Animal Kingdom hot. It's always Animal Kingdom hot at Animal Kingdom. It's also humid this morning, so we're feeling it today. So if you're watching at home and you're in the AC, you win this morning. But there's still, again, I will never ever say that I think Animal Kingdom is too hot, too far, or too anything ever again. So I know you want to see Pandora. So we're not going to ride Flight of Passage because I'm not going to be able to take you on with me, but we'll definitely wander through the land so we can see it again. It's a shame that the parks aren't open later right now. Good morning. How you doing? Excellent. Yeah, exactly. I just want to sort of hear the background music. I want to just look and walk through Pandora once again. Again, thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. Happy Disney's Animal Kingdom Day. If you know somebody who'd like to watch along with us, please do me a favor, tag them in the comments. This marks one of the best transition points, I think, in any of the parks between leaving Animal Kingdom and then traveling to Pandora. I want you to just listen to the background sounds. One of my favorite places anywhere in the Disney parks is right there outside Nomad Lounge. And if you want to share out that we're taking a wander through Pandora, share it on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else. So I saw somebody just said that they canceled their September trip. I completely understand it in light of such uncertainty, but part of the reason why I'm here is because I want to hopefully instill a sense of confidence in just how the parks look, how they feel, what Disney is doing in terms of, again, safety is always number one priority. So have you ever noticed the down ship from the Ace that's sort of grown over in the bushes? This is a park that I think is exceptionally beautiful and quite transformative at night. especially a lot of the water features. You know, Joseph, eerie isn't sort of the appropriate word because it gives a sense of almost something negative, and it's eerie only in that there's nobody here. If you sort of frame it in context of like it's a special event and you feel privileged to be able to have the park all to yourself, it feels very different. And again, it's eerie in the best possible way. Like today is the day that you have dreamed of. It's sort of having this park all to yourself. Really no waits to speak of for Flight of Passage. So I thought about getting in here early, taking a ride on Flight, and then going live, but I would rather just spend the morning with you, and then I'll take a ride later on, because obviously I can't take you guys with me. Hello, lunch. I'll see you in a few hours. So the wait time for Flight right now says 35 minutes. And 35 minutes of Flight of Passage is basically no wait at all. Good morning. Oh, you know what? You guys want to ride Na'vi River Journey? Why not, as long as we're here? Good morning. Thank you. It's been so long I forgot the Na'vi greeting. Marla Chan, good morning. I know it's way early for you where you are. Thank you all for being here. So just take this in for a second, because again, something you're probably, we might be seeing this for a while. This might be the quote-unquote normal for a little bit in terms of, park attendance levels, which I think is welcome for everyone. I mean, there's nobody here. The queue is, for all intents and purposes, empty. Although you do see, for those areas where there are back and forths, they do have plexiglass, so you can continue to socially distance, as you're sort of going through the back and forths. Good morning. Thank you. This is my favorite part of this attraction because it's when you get into the air conditioning part. Good morning, Chef Bob. Chef Bob, as you know, is not just a good friend, but he's the head chef, the magic maker, the dreamer of dreams over at the Boathouse, which I think you know is my favorite restaurant in the entire world. And again, you see people are, taking advantage of the social distancing markers. Everybody's got their masks on. I have such an incredible sense of safety and comfort and confidence being here. This attraction, I know sometimes people, it's not their favorite because it's short, because of what... I think it also has one of the most beautiful and hauntingly beautiful soundtracks. Good morning, just one, please. Thank you. There's no way I can wait for a front row, can I?
Yeah, that's the front row.
Oh, is it? Okay, thank you. I mean, if we're going to do it, I want to take you guys in the front row, so... And yes, I have the entire boat to myself. There's something so peaceful about this ride, which is why I think I like it. Such an incredible sense of depth and even realism, even for the projected. Thank you. You too. Again, there's hand sanitizing stations at the entrances and exits to every attraction. And if you notice, guests are using them too. So again, it's not just Disney being proactive in terms of cleaning, but it's guests also doing their part too. Something so calming about a waterfall to me.
Mikey!
That's not a bad way to start a Sunday morning, is it? A little trip to Pandora, a little calming ride on Navi. That song is going to be stuck in my head, probably yours for a while. Again, this does very much feel like somebody said a special event, and it does. Wait, let's see what they have for snacks. Oh, hello. This has my name written all over it right there. How have I never had that before?
Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm in Pandora and I'm looking at the snacks. Hey, Mark Lorenzo, buddy, the Church of Disney. It is. It very much is. And I am happy to be a parishioner with all of you. You know, that's the one beautiful thing. There's something that is uniting about this place. Whatever sort of other differences or differing opinions we may have about whatever, it doesn't matter, because this is the one thing that brings us together. I think that's why we love this place so much, right? I think that's why we love coming here as often as we do, because of not just how it makes us feel, but all those things disappear. You know, as you walk through those gates, all the nonsensical, serious stuff of the real world sort of fall away. Did I mention how much I love Nomad Lounge, by the way? Jeff C., good to see you, buddy.
Just a few reminders.
Jeff C.
Wear a face covering. Clean your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing. And maintain physical distancing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jeff C. is a super smart, one of the nicest guys I know. He runs Manly Pinterest Tips. He's got all kinds of podcasts going on. Jeff C., feel free to plug away, brother. Fred Abley, Mike Sizemore. Again, more like all of you, good people doing good things. Speaking of music, Dave Rashoni just walked in. Dave Rashoni is not just a longtime good friend, but he is the creator and artist behind the WW Radio theme song, which I need to play once again in its entirety so you can hear not just Dave singing, it's not me, and his wife Kathy, who sings there's full lyrics. It's like a mini Hamilton. It's just one song, but... So very quickly, here's one of the relaxation stations you'll find throughout all the parks where you can come, take off your mask, and just give yourself a little bit of time to... Good morning, man. How you doing? Get a little, fresh air, breathable time. I believe there are 3 in Magic Kingdom. I am not sure how many there are here. I would take you in the Otter Grotto, but I do not see any otters. So how many of you walk through the Tree of Life garden when you come to Animal Kingdom? How many of you take the time to sort of wander those pathways? And I'm going to take you on those at some point today. I do actually want to take you through one part of it now, because I want to show you a view that I bet you probably have not seen before, because I think most guests don't necessarily take these pathways. Again, good morning. Thank you so much for being here and spending the morning with me. These are the Discovery Island trails, which again, I think a lot of people usually are making the dash to the safari instead of coming down this way. And one of the reasons why I love this park like this at this time of day is it is so peaceful. Like, this is the perfect Sunday morning park. Maybe that's it. It is. Animal Kingdom is a beautiful Sunday morning stroll park. So I don't see... Oh, no, there it is. I take that back. There's a porcupine. So there's a porcupine. Take a little nap. So somebody just asked if it's uncomfortable with the mask. I gotta tell you, it's not. I expect it to be really hot and uncomfortable, and I'm not. Again, it's Animal Kingdom hot, so it's like my chest and my back are the hottest parts. And the mask, you sort of get very used to it very quickly. Oh, tortoise. Not turtles, tortoise. Oops, you don't see me. Wait a minute. Amy, thanks so much. Remember, you are not a follower. You are certainly not a fan. You are a friend. And thank you for being here and being part of the community. Oh, look, these two tortoises are cuddling while they're eating breakfast together. And again, we have these trails all to ourselves. There is nobody here. But I want to take you back here because, again, not only do you get to see some of the animals, but wait for it. You get this amazing up-close view of the tree and your own private waterfall. You can actually go in and under the tree here. See, obviously, the shark right here. Big scary bunny right here. This appears to be a vulture just based on the size and shape of its neck. Anteater, aardvark, right there. Alligator. So look, this is one of the most secluded spots in all the park, right? There's nothing here. There's only one way in, only one way out. And you sort of have it all to yourself. And yes, because I know you're thinking it, it's the backside of water. Animal Kingdom edition. So you see, this is also the exit for Tough to Be a Bug. So if you wanted to actually cut across to the Africa side of the park, you could do that right through here. But, you know, part of what I love about this park is just the opportunities for exploration. You know, again, I think a lot of people don't come down this way because it's not, you know, it's not a throughway to anywhere. It's not a queue for an attraction. So you might not think that you could, would, or even should come down this way. What is your favorite land at Disney's Animal Kingdom? I don't mean attraction, right? Because we know sort of, you know, the big ones that would probably top that list. But what is your favorite land and why?
Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Good morning. Thank you.
I do love Harambe, especially when they have the live performers out. This fictional village has so much life and energy to it. There's a great backstory here that you can really assemble. So listen. So you can hear, it's much like in like the Morocco Pavilion, you can hear people, you know, living and working in some of the second floors of the buildings. You guys want to ride, don't you?
Right, have a great trip.
So again, if you're just joining, thank you for being here. Welcome, happy Sunday. Asante sana, squash banana. It's been a long time since I've been on the safari. Oh, look at this. See, here's nature. happening naturally. I don't know if you can see that. I'm fascinated by spiders and how they build spider webs. I don't know if you can see it. A handy animal spotting chart located on the back of every seat is there to help you out. So join us in Kilimanjaro Safaris for the experience of a life. When it comes to safaris, we go wild. Thank you for calling. Santa-san. So, for those of you wondering or even concerned about the distancing, you see that there's a wide breadth of space in between everyone. And I keep repeating, it's not just in front of you, but it's also beside you as well. So, you're directed to stay on the right-hand side, and if everybody does that, there's far more than 6 feet.
Each has a story to tell about the struggle to survive. The cheetah, with the ability to reach speeds up to 70 miles per hour, is the fastest animal on Earth. Well, evolutionary adaptation has provided it with the means for catching fast-moving prey. It pays a price for its speed. The lightweight cheetah frequently loses its catch to the stronger hyena or lion. The African warthog is a favorite prey of lions, leopards, and cheetah. Its defense is high-speed escape. With a warthog, there's no alternative but to fight. It does not lose the large upper tusks, as one might expect. It is the sharp lower tusks that can inflict lethal damage on a predator. The upper tusks are digging tools used to excavate burrows and find roots. Harambe is rich with bird life. Keep your eyes out for some of these species. Cory bustard. Secretary bird. Ground hornbill. Helmeted guinea fowl. Crowned crane. Ostrich. Flamingo.
So obviously, load times are going to be longer because they are not loading every seat, every row. Again, I've been sort of continuing trying to reiterate the idea of bringing your understanding and bringing your patience, because in order to, effectively allow for distancing and, again, safety always being the first concern, that's what has to happen. But because the crowd levels are so much lower, you don't even really feel it. Again, it's a Sunday in July, right after park opens, and the crowds here are very, very light.
Common waterbuck. Nyala.
And Crystal, I haven't heard anybody complaining at all about any of the waits. Again, the waits are relatively
Thank you for
non-existent.
visiting us today. Just a few reminders. Please wear a face covering. Clean your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you.
Animals are clouded by the human qualities we assign them. Let's take a look at some behaviors that seem familiar, yet have very different meanings in
And
the
guests have
animal
been remarkably good at
world. A giant yawn like
following
this might
those
fit
instructions,
into
right,
a
about the
team.
distancing. I've seen no
But
one
in fact, a
not
good
wearing a
male's
mask,
awesome
except at
voice
relaxation
actually
stations or certainly when you're eating.
a warning to other males
you know,
intruding into his territory.
People get it. They're being respectful.
If the intruder does
They're being
not
incredibly
withdraw,
courteous and
ferocious
patient, too.
fighting ensues. Many
and
old bulls bear the
I think
scars
they're,
of dozens of such
like me, they're
territorial
grateful
encounters.
to be able to be back here again. So,
Storks are often associated with images of good luck or the arrival of a newborn child. But the marabou stork, with its bald head and
So we have no idea what numbers are in terms of number of guests. I do not feel comfortable even trying to venture a guess and putting a number out there and being, potentially misquoted as giving a number. I will tell you that having been to the parks, for decades and every time of year, this feels less than a hard-ticketed event. So whether it's an after-hours, a DVC event, an annual pass holder event, certainly far, far, far below what those numbers are. And look, we don't know. This is just, really just day 2 of the parks being open. But as of right now, I mean, when I say the parks are empty, this is the longest we're waiting. And it seems like we're sort of stopped in it because of the nature of this attraction itself. If one of the safari vehicles has to stop to allow.
Welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. While you are in line, please remember always to wear a face covering and practice your physical distancing by standing on the please wait here signs. Welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris, my friends. Have a great time.
Females of the pride do nearly all of the hunting.
So, Dave Rashoni, in terms of number of guests yesterday versus an annual pass holder preview, far, far less than you would find at a preview event. Again, I don't even want to feel comfortable giving percentages, but it was way, way lower. And this line was moving, but I have to believe that one of the trucks might be stopped for some animal crossings because we just haven't been moving at all. So let's give it a couple minutes, and then maybe if we have to, we'll come back.
It is the females of the species who bond together into social units known as herds. Each herd is ruled by an older
Yeah, if we don't start moving in a couple minutes, we'll move on to something else.
Experience in dealing with predators, water sources, and drought patterns is essential to the herd's well-being. If the matriarch is killed by poachers, her experience is lost forever, endangering the herd's survival.
Given that black and white rhinos look so very much alike, one might imagine that their lifestyles should be similar, but due to the smallest of anatomical differences, they do in fact lead very different lives.
The black rhino has a flexible, pointy upper lip that adapts it to browsing on leaves and shrubs found in Harambe's forest and bush country. The white rhino's broad, flat lips have adapted it to a life of grazing Harambe's open grasslands. At first glance, it might appear that all
Brian, yes, monorails are running. I rode monorails yesterday as well as some of the watercraft. Yeah, there must be something. Oh, we're moving. Okay.
Unique striped pattern, much like human fingerprints.
The animals of Harambe are wonderfully diverse.
No, I take that
Each
back.
has a
Maybe we're
story
not.
to tell about the struggle to survive.
The cheetah, with the ability to reach speeds up to 70 miles per hour, is the fastest animal on Earth. While evolutionary adaptation has provided it with the means of catching fast-moving prey, it pays a price for its speed. The lightweight cheetah frequently...
Crystal, I haven't seen any attractions not open yet. I have not gone to any of the shows, so I don't know if there's any sort of changes in terms of the shows being open or not.
Leopards and cheetah. Its defense is high-speed escape. When the warthog has no alternative but to fight, it does not use the large upper tusks as one might expect. It is the sharp lower tusks that can inflict lethal damage on the predator. The upper tusks are digging tools used to excavate burrows and find roots.
Harambe is rich with bird life. Keep your eyes out for some of these species.
Cory bustard. Secretary bird. Brown hornbill. Helmeted guinea fowl.
Yeah, something must be up because we're moving like incredibly slow at this point.
Flamingo. The graceful, delicate appearance of antelope and gazelle belie their athletic ability. Impalas are antelope capable of bounding fluid leaps of 10 meters or 35 feet. And this Johnson's gazelle is funky, making abrupt upward leaps. Perhaps this behavior advertises their athletic ability to evade predators. Harambe is bush country abounds with many varieties of antelope and gazelle. Bontebok, Tweaker, common waterbuck, Nyala, sable antelope, Klipspringer, scimitar-horned oryx, eland, mall gazelle, kudu. Sometimes our perceptions of animals are clouded by the human qualities we assign them. Let's take a look at some behaviors that seem familiar, yet have very different meanings in the animal world. A giant yawn like this might appear to indicate fatigue, but in fact, a bull hippo's awesome yawn is actually a threat signal, a warning to other males intruding into his territory. If the intruder does not withdraw, ferocious fighting often ensues. Many old bulls bear the scars of dozens of such territorial encounters. Storks are often associated with images of good luck or the arrival of a newborn child. But the marabou stork, with its bald head and gangly body, evokes a more sinister...
So we're moving a little bit slower than, and I don't know, we'll find out as we get up closer if this is a result of the distancing and the loading, or if it was just some sort of slowdown.
By swiftly converting carcasses to skeletons, the marabou returns important nutrients to the soil. In Harambe's open...
Bathsheba from Israel, I think that's amazing. Welcome, thank you for being here. It still fascinates me that people literally from around the world are able to watch, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to share this with you, especially when I know so many of you can't get here as often as you would like.
Two humans engaged in a farm rescue. The male lion, king of the beasts, supreme hunter of the African plains, spends most of his day asleep.
Ciao, hello everyone. Welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. While you are in our queue today, we ask that you please continue to practice that physical distancing by standing on the please wait here signs on the floor. Also, while in the queue, we do ask that you wear your face covering at all times. Once again, my friends, please continue to practice that physical distancing and wear your face covering. Thank you for joining us here at Kilimanjaro Safaris. Enjoy the rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
So yeah, I have to say, as amazing as the cast members are, the guests have been remarkable in their patience and their kindness and their, sort of quiet expressions of gratitude. I haven't heard anybody complaining. The lines for guest service yesterday were basically non-existent, and when I was in there, just trying to do something unrelated, everybody was in there for a good reason. Nobody was upset, nobody was angry, and I was really, really happy to see that.
Guys, you know that Animal Kingdom is actually the hottest part. Outside of this, it was great. So, you guys know that Animal Kingdom is the hottest of all the Disney parks. It has something to do with the trees. I don't know the mechanics of it. I'm sorry. But, it's like 9 o'clock and I'm already like dying. So, I'm great to have the fan for the first time. So, this is like...
For the health and safety of everyone, please wear a face covering. Wash your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
Obviously, there are no fast passes available during these times, and not that you really need it. Again, this is the longest probably I've had to wait from yesterday to today. And I did see somebody say that one of the vehicles had broken down, so...
blow underneath the mask. When you're waiting online, Animal Kingdom.
So it's a minor thing, but if you notice too, all the garbage cans now are touchless, meaning that all of the flaps are either taken out or lifted up, so you never have to actually physically touch the garbage can to throw any trash away. No, I think the animals are kept to a very specific routine, even when the park was not open, because you start to break that and then you have to sort of retrain them all over again. Vicky, I know you and many others would love to be here, which is why I'm here doing this, honestly. I know this sounds silly, but I really am here for you. It's also why I come a lot of times alone, is because I don't want to, be rude to either friends or family. I want to just be able to pay full attention to you. Again, hand sanitizing stations everywhere. Thank you. So you see, obviously, there's plexiglass in between to allow for distancing for everyone.
And as we say in Harambe, which means let's go.
Obviously, there are dividers in between each of the rows, which is great because it obviates the need to have to skip rows, so you to get better guest throughput. And yes, I am the only guest in this row.
Asante San Warden. As we say in Africa, Twin Day, which means let's go. Jambo, my name is Leanne, and I will be your safari driver over the next 2 weeks of your life while we are out on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. I do hope that you use the bathroom. You can utilize that creature spotting guide up above your head to see what animals we might be lucky enough to see while we are out on our 2-week-long safari. We do recommend that you stay seated at all times and that you do not call out to the animals, my friends. This is their home, and should we call out to them, we wouldn't want someone yelling at us in our own home. If you do have a camera and you will be taking pictures while you are on your safari, I do recommend a sport type setting or videotaping the animals and isolating the photos at a later time. This is a bumpy ride. We do recommend keeping hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Should you drop your cell phone or your camera outside of the vehicle, we won't actually be able to stop to retrieve it. Now, I can't call someone to retrieve your article of value, but by the time it makes it back to your hands, it might actually have a very different look to it.
Again, if you don't mind tagging, inviting a friend to come and ride a little Sunday morning relaxing safari with us.
Enter into the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Harambe actually means to come together in a gathering, and it is to resemble the coming together of humans and animals and working together on this photography safari. The emblem that is up there on the side is actually a sable antelope, known for its strength. I tell you this because for many years I thought it was Simba, and it's actually an antelope. That is not Simba. This first area that we will be entering is the Little Aturi Forest, where we will be looking for animals that naturally camouflage themselves in the woods around us. Animals with possibly stripes. We'll be looking for some animals. To the right, there's an animal that appears to be wearing zebra pants. However, that animal is not a zebra. That animal is an okapi. They're actually the cousin to the giraffe. They do have 7 vertebrae in their necks, just like a giraffe as well as a human being, just different sizes. The male okapi have ossicones at the top of their head like a giraffe, but the female okapi do not have ossicones at the top of their head like a giraffe. To the left is a black and white saddle-billed stork. They do stand at about 5 feet tall. They are known for the yellow saddle shape on their beak. They're very territorial animals. They mate for life. And should another mating pair arrive in their area, they will actually chase them away. To the left is an area of habitat destruction and devastation. We look to those areas for the signs of the very large animals of the forest of Africa. During the mining of the mineral coltan, we actually destroy their environment. To the left is a black rhinoceros right there by the fallen tree. Black rhinoceros are about 2,500 pounds. They are still hunted for the keratin in their horns. Keratin is the same thing that makes up your hair and your fingernails. There are actually no medicinal properties associated with the keratin in a rhino's horn. A black rhinoceros has a prehensile triangular-shaped upper lip that allow them to grasp the foliage around them. To the right are some bongo. Both the male and the female bongo have lyre-shaped horns that angle backwards, so that they're able to dive into the brush around them without actually getting tangled up. Exit the Little Aturi Forest and cross into the Safi River region. This is the wetlands region of Africa, where we will be looking for animals that might possibly be in Harambe around the watering hole. More specifically, we're going to look into the Safi River to see if we see any shadows or maybe some bubbles, because that might be a Nile hippopotamus. To the right, I do see 2 Nile hippopotamus over to the right there. Nile hippopotamus do tend to sleep under the water. They will stay submerged under the water for up to 8 hours of the day, rising to the surface for air when they need it, about every 30 minutes or so when they are sleeping, and about every 8 minutes or so if they are running along the bottom of the Safi River. It's a whole bloat of Nile hippopotamus to the left. Nile hippopotamus are typically a nocturnal species. They will tend to come out of the water in the evening as well as at night to consume about 90 pounds of foliage and to socialize with each other. To the left is a small colonial group of pink-backed pelicans. They do develop their bright pink backs during mating season. They do have a wingspan of about 7 to 9 feet. Now, when we do see one with a bright pink back, we always look for a nest. That is a small colonial group of them. They do exist in colonial groups of 15 to 200 or more.
If you've never done Wild Africa trick, you need to do it.
Of Nile crocodile. Nile crocodile are about 16 to 20 feet long. They are about as long as a giraffe is tall. They do have a bite force of over 2,000 pounds per square inch. Nile crocodile have actually been known to run up to 20 miles per hour and to jump. So we just saw them from a very safe distance. They do tend to weigh about 500 pounds, and they do eat half of their body weight at each meal. So each Nile crocodile eats about 250 pounds of food at each meal. Now they are a reptile and they can go up to a week or so without food, but they do eat half of their body weight in food at each meal. Now we're about to enter into the drier regions of Africa, and the first sign of the savanna is the baobab tree to the right. The baobab tree is known as the tree of life out here in Africa because the animals of the savanna can rip open that very large tree. They will eat the bark and gain access to over 20,000 gallons of water inside that tree so that they stay nourished during the drier times out on the savanna.
I see a lot of you talking about Wild Africa Trek. It's one of my favorite Walt Disney World experiences
that
ever.
Are trimmed at about 18 to 20 foot height. That tells us there's a giraffe nearby. I do see a Maasai giraffe out there already. The grass that is so short tells us there are antelope nearby, so we will be on the lookout for antelope as well. An adult Maasai giraffe does stand at about 18 to 20 feet tall. There is one over to the right behind the trees. We'll see if we can get a better look at some giraffe. Maasai giraffe reticulata, which does mean net-like. So their pattern is more net-like. When we get a closer look at the Maasai giraffe, you'll be able to see that there are irregular edges to the patterning on their coats that's individual to each giraffe. To the left, it looks like there's a predator's den, and let's see, there are some African painted dogs laying out there in the grass. African painted dogs are not related to the dogs you have at home. They are also not related to wolves. The dogs you have at home and wolves have 5 toes. Those dogs actually have 4 toes. They don't bark and they don't howl. They chirp and they chortle. They're quite different. Now they're actually closely related to jackals. They do have an alpha male and an alpha female that runs the pack, and should one become injured, they will not leave an injured dog behind. To the left are some Ankoli cattle with very large horns, but their horns are not actually very heavy. Their horns are filled with a honeycomb-like structure that aid in the circulation of the cattle. To the left off in the distance are some sable antelope. They are known for their strength and their mighty powerful kick that can incapacitate predators. To the left is a whole tower of Maasai giraffe. Now the adults do stand at between 18 and 20 feet tall. A baby Maasai giraffe is born at 6 feet tall. They need about an hour and a half of time to stand up with their mother prior to being pursued by predators. Looks like this Maasai giraffe over here to the left is itching itself in the bushes. Now, as they age, that pom-pom at the top of the ossicones on top of their head does start to go away. They're actually born with very large pom-poms at the top of the ossicones on top of their heads. But as they age, they do start to go bald up there. Now, Maasai giraffe can run at about 35 miles per hour, and they have a very strong, powerful kick, much like a zebra or a sable antelope. So most predators will not mess with a Maasai giraffe. A Maasai giraffe is also a ruminant, like a cow. They have 4 stomachs.
So do I.
They also have a 2-foot-long heart inside that chest of theirs. There's another Maasai giraffe over to the right. They do have a 24-inch long tongue that allows them to grasp the foliage that is around them. I know, like you would use your arm to grab a tree branch. Off in the distance to the right are some springbok antelope. Those are the 3rd fastest land mammals in the world. They can jump 11 feet straight into the air, and when they are running, they can jump 13 feet into the air in a pronking style formation, which means their front 2 legs are extended straight out in front of them. Over to the right is a dazzle of Hartmann's Mountain Zebra. Hartmann's Mountain Zebra are the only zebra with a dewlap at the front of their neck. Should a predator grab onto that dewlap, the zebra is actually able to evade the attack because no internal organs are damaged. They are a black animal with white stripes. If you look at their muzzle is black. That tells us they are a black animal with white stripes. And their stripes do tend to go all the way down to their skin. Over to the right, off in the distance, laying down, are some African white-bearded wildebeest, also known as gnu. African white-bearded wildebeest do exist in confusions of up to 1.5 million. Now, a confusion of African white-bearded wildebeest can actually migrate up to 1,000 miles every year. And they do call them a confusion because at numbers of 1.5 million, they do tend to run around in a confused state. Typically, they will sleep in a parallel style, like they are sleeping out there. And they will take turns being on the edges in the same mannerism as like a mallard duck would switch while they are flying. They will switch to the outer edges. The outer edges of the white-bearded wildebeest sleeping circles, they are actually sleeping lighter than the ones that are in the middle. So that should a predator come up on them, they will actually be able to warn the rest of the confusion. The Maasai giraffes over to the right, over there, they only sleep about 30 minutes in a 24-hour time period. And they do have the highest blood pressure of all the animals in the animal kingdom, so that it can pump their blood all the way up
I'm
to
a
the
pretty
top
close
of their
second.
head. Should a Maasai giraffe get into something that they're not supposed to get into, such as nails or, you know, a pencil or a straw or something like that, that will actually get caught in their second stomach, which is the honeycomb stomach, just like a cow. And should it need to be surgically removed, a veterinarian will be able to get in there and retrieve it. However, should it not be removed and be caught in the stomach, it can pose a great threat to the giraffe because it can go through that second stomach and into the heart and cause a heart attack. Because the heart is actually located right in front of the second stomach, or the honeycomb stomach. Now we are coming up on the Patterson's Eland up ahead of us and to the right. Looks like the male Patterson's Eland is wearing a grass crown. They are the largest antelope of the savanna. They do stand at about 6 feet at the shoulder. So over to the right is a Patterson's Eland. There are a few of them over there to the right. And that big one that is about 6 feet tall, wearing the grass crown, is a very large male. The reason why they wear those grass crowns is because they actually scent a mark by rubbing their heads against the grass. There are scent glands between their horns, but they're actually able to rub into the grass to spread their scent. We're coming up on an area of habitat destruction and devastation, so we'll be on the lookout for. I do see an African elephant waving its ears right beyond those reeds. African elephants, when they wave their ears like that, they are actually trying to cool off. They could drop their body temperature by about 15 degrees by waving their ears like that. Over to the left are some mandrill monkeys. I do see one sitting with the back up against the tree right there. The male mandrill monkeys are about 100 pounds and the female mandrill monkeys are about 30 pounds. So that must be a female, it's smaller. They're known for their bright bluish red faces as well as rumps that actually get brighter as they get more excited or aggravated by something. So when they're calm, you'll notice their faces look a normal color. But if they get angry, their faces start to turn bluish red. And the African elephant over to the right, they have over 2,000 muscles in their very large trunk. They will actually use their trunks in the same way you would use your arms to hug other elephants, to greet other elephants, to wave. Looks like this road is closed, so we will be taking a detour. See if we can get a better look at some of those African elephants. see what other animals that we might be able to find while we are on our safari. We do ask that you hold on to all your valuables and your belongings. There has been a washout. Should this bridge go down while we are on it, we're going to end up down there on that Safi River on a jungle cruise. Looks like first row made it. Last row is still with us, it looks like. So this is a lucky trip. Cannot say the same for the safari truck behind us. They might end up down there on that Safi River. To the left and the right are some red clay pits. We look to these areas for signs of African elephants, such as tusk marks and footprints that tells us there are African elephants nearby. African elephants will actually eat the red clay to gain essential vitamins and minerals they need in their diet. You see two over to the left. African elephant's gestational period is 22 months. That is almost 2 years. And the babies are born at over 200 pounds. They typically live around 75 years. And they reach adolescence around 13 to 15 years. The African elephants over to the left are part of the Disney Conservation Fund research project, the Elephants and Bees project, where we are listening to everything that the elephants have to say to each other. They actually, when they don't want human beings to hear them or other animals, they communicate infrasonically through the ground. And should you ever see one of them wearing a collar out there, that's the elephant we're currently listening to. They say a lot about bees. They talk a lot about bees. They don't like bees. They don't want to have anything to do with bees. We've taken that information out to Africa, where we have built living fences made of bees and beehives. They keep the elephants away from the farmers, their families, their homes, and their crops. So the farmers have stopped poaching the elephants in the areas that we've built the living fences. The elephants were actually getting poached by farmers because they were trampling farmers' families, their homes, and their crops. And that's the Disney Conservation Fund Elephants and Bees project that we are working on. To the left is a flamboyance of greater pink flamingo. I am going to pause right here so you guys can get a good look at those guys. Over there to the left, there were actually 11 baby flamingo hatched in the past 3 months. The little tiny gray fluffs are little baby flamingos. Flamingos are actually hatched a gray color, and they do not develop their pink color until they are about a year of age.
Yeah, give some hearts, give some love for this driver. She is excellent.
And the brine shrimp that they eat. Now they do have a wingspan of about 7 feet, and those are the lightest of the pink flamingo species. They are also a non-migratory pink flamingo. There are several different types of pink flamingo. Straight up ahead of us and on the left, it looks like our wardens may have possibly caught a poacher in the area and confiscated some loot. That's good, because I do see some white rhinoceros up here around the mud wallowing hole. White rhinoceros will actually use mud wallowing holes. They will use the water to cool off and the mud as a natural means of bug repellent and sunscreen. They're not actually white, they're actually gray. They do get their name white from the Afrikaans word "weit," which does mean wide, because they do have a wide mouth for grazing. Now, if you do like the white rhinoceros, if the white rhinoceros are your favorite animal and you're very interested in them, one of those white rhinoceros in the crash of white rhinoceros is actually pregnant. She's due in September. And the baby should be out on the savannah in October. To the left It's an area known as Duma Ridge. Duma is the Afrikaans word for cheetah, for the cheetahs that are sometimes up in that area there. Now they do typically tend to run at speeds of about 70 miles per hour. And they are primarily daytime hunters. Oh, yep, there's one. To the left right there,
Oh, there she is.
going up the hill. Now when you see one operating in a singular unit like that, you are probably seeing a female, whereas the males do tend to form small bachelor groups known as cheetah coalitions. Coming up on a very large rock formation. In Africa, this is known as a kopie, and we look to the very top of the rock formation to see what predators we might be able to see, looking out into the tall grass to identify which prey they might be interested in pursuing. Do you see a male lion up there? Let's see. Male lion's mane weighs about 40 pounds. You know that is a younger male lion because the mane is not entirely black yet. As a male lion ages, their mane does start to turn black. They do have specialized padding on their paws that allow them to silently sneak up on their prey without detection. Male lions typically weigh about 500 pounds. Their body's about 80% muscle. So they do typically have an inactive period of about 20 hours a day with an active period of about 4 hours a day. Looks like
by the
there are a
way-
couple of lionesses up there near the tree. You can just barely see their ears.
And
Their
that
paws.
right there is there's a hidden Jafar
Those paws
in that
that
rock
you see
formation.
up there are about the size of a dinner plate. Just to give you a size.
You see it? You see the Jafar with the hat right there?
Now the male lion is the original stay-at-home dad and will typically tend to stay at home and watch the cubs while the female lionesses are out hunting. Over to the left are some warthogs. Warthogs are actually known to back into the burrows of others and extend their tusks outwards to ward off predators. Straight up ahead of us and on the right side, two more white rhinoceros. White rhinoceros are about 5,000 pounds. They're roughly 3,000 pounds more than the black rhinoceros. There are some Bontebok. Bontebok numbers fell to about 17 in the wild prior to being brought back to sustainable numbers by conservation efforts. There are some ostrich eggs over there as well. Ostrich eggs weigh about 3 to 5 pounds each, and they can withstand a lot of pressure. If you were to eat an ostrich egg, that would be like eating 13 grade A extra large eggs all at once. But the ostrich egg does have less cholesterol. Now, as we exit the Savannah region, we're entering into the Magadi Glen, which is the newest area of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Oops, slide. There's an animal up at the top of the hill to the left. That is a white scimitar horned oryx up there. White scimitar horned oryxes are very well known for their kidneys. They can actually drink water and survive up to 9 months without another single drop of water. They also do not sweat until their body temperature reaches 115 degrees. It allows them to survive in the northern African climates where they live. They also have a white coat. It allows them to reflect the sunlight so that they can actually conserve their water. Now, we may not have been able to see all of those creatures from the creature spotting guide up above your head, but I do believe we had some pretty good luck. I did mention about the Disney Conservation Fund project, the Elephants and Bees project that we are currently working on. However, if elephants are not your thing, we have a lot of different Conservation Fund projects. So you can ask any of the cast members here in Africa, any of the cast members in Animal Kingdom, what we are currently working on. They should be able to tell you some of the Disney Conservation Fund projects that we are working on. And you can always recycle papers and plastics and help friends like the Okapi, the Bongo, and the Black Rhinoceros. Recycling cell phones and electronics helps the elephants, the mandrills, and the black rhinoceros and white rhinoceros as well. Now please make sure you gather all of your belongings, friends. We wouldn't want you to leave anything on the truck after your 2-week safari. In Africa, we do not like to say goodbye. That is far too final and far too permanent. In Africa, we actually say kwaherini, which means to go well. How is your safari driver, Leanne, today? No two safaris are the same, and we'd love to see you back again soon. Kwaherini friends, please watch your step as you exit. Please double check your rows to stay safe.
Leanne, I've been coming to this attraction since like opening year. You are far and away the best driver we have ever, there's 700 of us or so watching. Thank you so much. Learn things we never heard before. You're exceptional. Really appreciate it. You too. Again, hand sanitizing stations everywhere. I'm actually going to try and find a lead and let them know. That's how good I think she was. Excuse me. Also, you see those hand washing stations using the foot pedal. So, like you heard me say, I've been coming to this attraction since year one. Without question, she's the best safari driver I've ever had. I want to tell somebody. I'm literally looking for a lead to try and share that with. You want to do the exploration trail while we're here? Again, you see everybody sort of just walks the other way. It's okay. What?
Hi, Lou.
Hi.
I'm Lisa.
How are you? I'd give you, air, whatever. Yeah.
My husband Matthew is a huge fan, and he made me promise that if we see you today, we would see if we could take a picture.
Listen, you and Matthew, it's friends, not fans.
Aww.
Big difference.
Okay, well.
We are friends, not fans.
We watch you a lot. He's probably watching you right now.
Thank you. Oh, you want to say hi?
Hi, Matthew.
Are you having fun today?
Oh, so much fun.
And you miss Matthew, right? And I'm nodding yes, you're supposed to say yes.
I'm supposed to say yes?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we miss Matthew.
You are doing research for Matthew, so when Matthew comes, you'll be all prepared. Look.
And we did the wilderness. We got some bird poop on us.
Well, you see, it's like a blessing from the skies. They say it's good luck, so.
Exactly. All right, can we snap a picture?
All right, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to show my skills here.
Thank
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, guys. Have fun today. You too. Good morning.
Welcome back.
How are you?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, so let's do the trail, and then I'm going to see if I can find a lead to just let him or her know how exceptional Leanne was. Oops, sorry.
You know what I didn't share with you guys? The mandrill is almost like you guys. You know how at night you like to have snacks? Yes. Well, the mandrills like snacks. They have pouches They have pouches in their mouth. They have a pouch in their mouth and they can actually save food to eat later. Wouldn't that be fun?
We sometimes take candy in our pocket.
Oh, that's a smart move. Hey guys, have a great day here at Animal Kingdom.
All right, come on, look at him up there. Let's go find Daddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can tweet out cast compliments, and I think if you use hashtag cast compliment, I would also be sure and at Walt Disney World. I'm not sure if at somebody correct me, is at cast compliment a Twitter account? Good morning. Once again, you see we have really this attraction all to ourselves. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing great.
Just for those who are curious.
To see some of my props here. This is actually a bird nest that was made by one of the birds that lives here in the Africa aviary. It's called a Tabetta golden weaver. And the males, they're the ones that do build the nest. They'll go around and actually if you look at some of the plants over here, you can see a lot of the leaves are stripped off. So they'll take that plant material and they'll weave it in and out of each other to create these nests up in the trees. What's really interesting is they actually hang them upside down, and that actually prevents predators from being able to get up into the tree and grab their eggs. One of their main predators that do prey on the eggs are actually snakes. So it makes it really tough for a snake to get down, up and around inside of that nest when it's hanging upside down. So it's pretty cool. Keep your eyes peeled. We have about 20 different species of birds inside of here, all from Africa, of course. But you guys can find a lot of different bird species living in your own backyard. So I really encourage you guys to try to protect them as much as we can. There's a really neat website. It's called 3billionbirds.org. If you go to that, it'll have a list of a lot of things that you guys can do to help protect birds that live right in your backyard that are just as pretty as all of these guys out here.
All right, cool.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, and we can tell you anything you want to know about any of the birds in here, okay?
Great. Thanks so much, Jared. Appreciate it.
Have fun. Good night.
Yeah, and if any of you do tweet cast compliments, if you could at me as well, this way I make sure I can retweet those too.
find a different group. So here, they would go to a different ACA accredited facility, or we would do another group. Oh, you would know. Yeah. Yeah.
Are they mean to it?
Oh.
They can be, yeah. Like I said, they're kind of vicious creatures. They look kind of cute from the outside, but they're pack hunters and they're omnivores, so they eat meat as well. Come here.
Good morning. Thank you too. Good morning. They're so cute and fluffy.
Yeah, from having experience of working with them hands-on. And we have to make sure our party claims the same dot. You just have to make sure that you're staying to your dot. Sorry. Now, my friend, here, if you want to keep here on the keep wait sign until a green dot comes up against
I love this.
And everybody can shuffle to the next dot. Hi, friends, for your safety, if you want to sit at the please wait until the green dot becomes available. Yeah. Yes. Yep. She's 14 months old. And unfortunately, when we were away, she did celebrate her first birthday. She did have a birthday party. They got the same great hair. How you doing?
Hey, how are you? That is amazing. I could watch this all day. I wish I could stay longer, but let's be courteous to other guests. That's incredible to see. They're like humans, the way they interact and play. I think so many people bypass this because it's not a quote-unquote e-ticket attraction, and you miss out on that. Good morning. How are you? Thank you. Let's see. Hello. Good, how are you?
Oh, he's waking up. This is our oldest gorilla in our bachelor troop here. His name is Gus.
Okay, I'm blind as a bat. Where? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, look,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
And now he's getting, he's like, you can't see me. Here you go. He's also our smallest in the bachelor troop. He's about 360 pounds or more. His son is actually the dominant male. His son's well over 400 pounds.
But that's just all quarantine weight. He'll take that off in no time.
We're probably going to go look for some more food, bring it back to our spot, eat it, then nap. Kind of the cycle we go throughout the day. We forage a little bit. There we go. We've got a nice high protein, high fiber, low fat diet. That helps them keep that nice healthy muscle all over their body. But keeps them nice and big.
So he's keto basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The ultimate keto diet. With no meat though. Maybe a couple termites and ants here and there, you know, in the wild, but
So is he alone in this area?
so we've got 3 others. And they like to hang out by the waterfall about this time. So the waterfall you see back there, we've got 2 28-year-olds. One of them is his son. And then we've got a 26-year-old. So when you exit safari, when you get off the vehicle,
Okay.
just look to your right. You're actually going to be right behind here, and you're going to be seeing another viewing area. The other 3 boys should be back over there. But since he's a bit older, he kind of likes his space. So he's like, yeah, I'm out of here. He likes to hang out back here. You can see him a little bit better down here. We got one of our bachelors, our oldest bachelor right here. I'll scoot that out of the way so you guys can see this better. His name is Gus. Oh, who is that way up there? So you saw how he just pushes his shoulder? They do that so they can keep their hands free, so they can grab more food. Very efficient, yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Yes, thank you. So, how often do you do the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail? Is this your first time? Is it an every time? Was it a one and done for you? Jim, Shari say every time. So I'll admit that it's not something I do every time, and you know, I almost regret that, but it does make it even more special when you get to go. And before we continue on with our tour, oh, Harambe Market has such good food, although we do miss they used to have this sausage that it was exceptional.
Thank you for visiting us today. Just a few reminders. Please wear a face covering.
Good morning. How are you? Good. I love the mask. Oh, thank you. Is there a Kilimanjaro lead anywhere? It's good news, I promise. A lead? I just want to give a compliment to one of the cast members.
We don't have a manager here anywhere, but you're a coordinator.
It's Hannah. Don't worry. I swear I'm not that guy. It's only good. So we've been coming on a safari since day one. Yeah. I just want to give a compliment. Leanne was our driver. And in all the years that I've been coming, and there's 700 of us plus who are watching also the same thing, like never had we had such an exceptional like driver. It was almost like they took a keeper and put her on the bus. She was outstanding. Leanne, I think she said Luann. They're telling me it's Leanne. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of pass it along to whoever can run that up. Awesome. I will. I plan on the way out. Absolutely. And we're doing cast compliments on Twitter and stuff too. So great. Thank you guys. They get so nervous when you ask for a lead. So, and they're like, oh no, what's he going to complain about? And that's why you got to do that, right? So normally, you know, and I'm making a joke here. You know, when Karen calls for a manager, Karen's not very happy, but it's nice to be, ask for a manager and say something really nice and let them know that somebody's doing not just an excellent job, but an exceptional job. Good morning. So I wanted to show you, this is one of my favorite places in all of Disney's Animal Kingdom. So, again, this is the Harambe Fort. And I think this is just one of the most wonderful, quiet, getaway places. Like, if you want to just, obviously, have this to yourself, grab a snack, grab a drink, cocktail, whatever, and just sit back here. It's a really, really nice place to just sort of get away. I've actually come back here. I've worked before. I've done meetings back here before. I've done a coaching session back there once before. Somebody wanted to do it in park, and we came back here. It's always shaded. It's always, it's 10 degrees cooler, if not more, back here. And as you can see, there's really nobody here. So one of the things I love about Animal Kingdom are the craftsmen. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Excellent, thank you. Excited to be back, I'm sure. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Oh, wait a minute. I love it. I love the live music. I love the energy. I love the fact that it's spontaneous, right? We're seeing this not just here in Magic Kingdom. I'm sure we're going to see it in the other parks as well. It gives such a wonderful life and energy to these parks. And the fact that you're not standing there waiting for it, and it just sort of happens randomly, adds another level to it. Harambe Market looks like it is not open or not open yet. What I love about that is there's 4 different stations there that have different food items. I think it's some of the best casual service dining in park. Jeff C., I'm not sure if you're still here or not. I know Jeff C. is also a wood carver. He's a man of many talents, obviously, and a great beard, by the way. But I know Jeff has done some live wood carving on the Facebooks too. Blake, I agree. This is and you know what? It's like Magic Kingdom, right? So it is some of the most beautiful I've seen Animal Kingdom. Why? Yes, because the crowds are very light, certainly, but I think it's because we haven't been here in so long, right? I think, the colors are brighter, the sounds are more pronounced. It just tastes sweeter, if that makes any sense. Wait a minute. Oh, it's closed. So I assume this might be open later. If so, I will be back. We will be back. Really nice, like quiet seating over by the water, like literally like on the water. Good morning. I haven't seen these before.
See why you have to wear this out.
And yes, I would love to stop for a coffee, a donut, a frozen Coke, but it's rude to eat while we're spending the day together. Somebody's making a lot of noise over here. I think Yak and Yeti, quick service is some of the best quick service on property. And if you've never been, if you walk all the way around in the back there, it's one of my favorite places to sit because it's super quiet. There's a nice little fountain there. It's beautiful. What are these guys doing? Let's go around so don't. That's so wild. It's the little surprises like that that I love so much. Come on, let's line it up just about right. There you go. Just lining up the mountains with the altar. Welcome to the Himalayas. I'll be really curious to see, especially at this time of day, what the wait for Everest is. Hello. It says 5 minutes.
It's just like Space Mountain last night.
Yeah.
So like hopefully that'll.
Yeah. It's been interesting to walk around. The same. You know, we had to get him used to yeah, so that's a big thing there. But other than that, you know, for him, he's just
I'm assuming that you guys want to go ride Everest.
walking around. We went to Magic Kingdom yesterday, watching little ones. Are you ready, Luke?
Hey man, how you doing? I have been to Pandora this morning. We walked through. We have not ridden. We rode Navi River. We did not ride Flight of Passage. Obviously, not able to take you there. So I want to try and take you on as much as I can. What I'll probably do is be live for a little bit this morning. And we'll take a little break. Give you guys a chance to, I'm sure you're eating anyway. Give me a chance to eat and rehydrate, and then maybe go live again a little bit later on.
And they listen more than the adults do. Yesterday,
I
in the
agree.
market aisle, and they just kept going. I'm like, shoot,
They're doing that with us at the indoor ride, and I was like,
and I had a baby with me, so you know, taking them off, and I'm like, yeah.
Thank you, by the way, for being here, for spending and sharing your Sunday morning with me. Walt Disney World is best when it is spent with friends. You're not going to see that very often as well. Obviously, like I said, all the attractions, there are no fast passes, and you really don't need them based on the attraction wait times. Yes, I just make it. Sweet justice. We're just going to stand here and do the fan ride for a little while. It's Animal Kingdom hot today. But there's nowhere I'd rather be than right here, right now, with you. I used to have that printer. I love the attention to detail, the exposed wires, all the pictures. So much of this stuff was actually purchased and brought over from Nepal by Joe Rohde and the team of Imagineers. You see, at the beginning, exit, and even in the queues of a lot of attractions, there are hand sanitizing stations. And people are using them. So for those who are asking like, oh, well, do they sanitize the ride vehicles in between each ride? Not necessarily, but as long as you're doing that, you know. So I think I've done a top 10 queues. If somebody could look up and see on the site, I think I've done top 10 queues in the past. If not, maybe I'll do it next week. Because this week, tomorrow, probably because I'm here today, tomorrow we'll have the One with Walt Part 2, where we talk about some of the one things we would show, do, experience with Walt Disney. And then have a little bit of a lightning round about a few other questions that my guests were not necessarily prepared. Has anybody listened to part 1 of The One with Walt? If so, 1, what do you think? If 2, have you shared it with your friends and invited them to listen as well? And if so, tell me honestly, what did you think of last week's episode and the topic? Katie, thank you. Gosh, I can't believe that was 11 years ago. I've never repeated a topic, but there are some that maybe need to be revisited. Just because so much has changed in the past 11 years. Patsy, happy birthday. Thank you for spending your birthday with us. Hopefully this is a nice little birthday treat for you, getting to visit Walt Disney World with a few hundred of your closest friends. Again, if you haven't, or even if you have, earlier today, now would be a really great time if you can. Tag, invite a friend to watch, tag a couple of friends to watch. Share this on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you do your sharing. I don't know, front or just one. Thank you. Oh, it's perfect. That's exactly where I wanted to go. Yay! That is exactly where I wanted to be, man. Thank you. I think the back row is better than the front row. And so obviously you see the plexiglass distancing in the queue. Please, Lord, let my gimbal hold on to this.
Once on board, secure all gear in the cargo bag equipment. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please, miembros del equipo de expedición Everest, una vez a bordo, coloquen sus efectos personales en la bolsa delante de la silla. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados con las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y por favor, cuide a los niños.
Please don't let me lose my phone. That did not go. That did not go as well as I expected it to. I should have not held it on the gimbal. Sorry about that.
Hey guys, welcome back. Watch your step as you exit.
That did not go as well as I had hoped. Next time, no gimbal. Next time, no gimbal. Thank you. Thank you. So I was so worried about holding on and whatnot that you probably didn't get to experience it the way you had hoped. So sorry about that. Speaking about this week's episode, I think Walt would like this attraction too. Walt loved to travel. Again, from a thrill ride, technology point of view, I think Walt would really enjoy it. I think the last time I was here was, it was actually the night that they did the cast member Goofy's Mystery Tour Challenge, which is a cast member only special event. It's sort of a scavenger hunt and quest through the parks. I covered it this year. I've actually done it in the past as a team member with friends. We won it one year. We came in second one year. We won it the year following. Really a lot of fun, really, really well done, well executed by the whatever team that comes up with the questions. Very, very fun, very challenging. So a couple of weeks ago on our Wednesday night regular Facebook Live show, which if you've been watching, thank you. If you've never seen before, every Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern, here in the WW Radio group at www.com/community. I talk about the top 5 stage shows in Walt Disney World. And the top 3 were obviously various shows from around the parks. And my top 2, which I struggled with in terms of where to rank them, was actually both shows were from here in Disney's Animal Kingdom. And it was obviously Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo the musical. And as I expected, and maybe deep down sort of hoped, it did spark some interesting conversation about which one should be first. There's no wrong answer. They're both exceptional. But so my question for you is, not just here at Animal Kingdom, but in Walt Disney World, what do you think your favorite sort of live performance is? And I don't mean, I don't mean the JAMMitors, I don't mean some of the walk around shows or parades, but what is your, sort of favorite sit down stage show in Walt Disney World, and why? I think Finding Nemo, and you'll hear on the show, is not just an exceptional show, but I love the fact that they took a non-musical film and made it a musical, with musical that's not just, nice. I think it's exceptional. Obviously the people that wrote it are a big part of that. But yeah, I was back and forth, and I don't think there's any wrong answer, because clearly it's subjective. But I put Finding Nemo first. What's your number one and why?
Survival of the fittest? I'm not fit for
I'm not into that one. I don't like bars and stuff like that.
Hello. So I'll be curious to see. Flame Tree is not open. I know it's still early. Oh, it's going to be open because I just smelled barbecue. I have no concept of what time it is either, by the way. But I want to take you to one of my favorite spots in Animal Kingdom. And maybe I need to do a top 5, or even top 10 favorite spots in the parks. I'm going to show you one. But here are one of the, character interactions on the river. Oh, it smells really good. But I'm Satu'li Canteen. I got to stay focused. Keep my eyes on the prize. Satu'li Canteen. But I love this entire seating area back here by Flame Tree specifically. Right down here. This quiet little spot. It's right on the water. It's in the shade. You can see and hear Everest in the background. It's very tranquil. And as you can see, there's usually not a lot of people down here. So this is where we will sort of take a break in the day. Thank you so much. I know it's Sunday morning. We've been going since very, very early this morning. I'm so thankful to you that you spent the day with me. It would not have been fun had it not been for you getting up early, for commenting, for sharing, for inviting your friends along, and for being part, really, not just of the conversation, but really the community. WDW Radio would not exist without you. I would not be able to be here without you, and I want you to know from the bottom of my heart the gratitude that I have, and that I try and express to you as often as I can. Even when we're done, please do me a favor, share this out on either your personal Facebook or your favorite group or page if they allow it. If you think somebody who maybe needs a little bit of this Disney magic that we have missed so much over the past few months in their day or their week would enjoy this, invite them to come watch along. I will probably be live again later on, maybe also sharing on Instagram as well. So if you can like and follow over on Instagram, that's super helpful too. If you go over and comment on some of the photos yesterday, there's one in particular, the caption might not explain what it is, but there's a picture of the Tomorrowland entrance sign, and I'd love for you to take 30 seconds to read it. It's very short because I'm not a very good typist, but it's an expression of thanks and what I think is going to happen next. And I would love for you not just to read it, but also invite your friends to read it as well. Thank you so much. I love you very much. So until hopefully later on today, have a great day. See ya. Bye, guys. Love you. Have an amazing day. See you later.